washed up on an island, a shipwrecked sailor stirred and gazed upon a sandy beach, his salty vision blurred. Lost, alone and anxious, the sailor looked around as gentle waves lapped to and fro, a reassuring sound. Dazed and weak, the sailor thought back to the fateful storm that had brought him to this island so magical and warm. As he mused and pondered, the sailor heard a sound and felt a sense of inner peace as he slowly turned around. For before him stood a creature with bright, beguiling eyes. Something told the sailor it was old and very wise. Its fur looked somewhat threadbare, repaired with mismatched patches, and its little ears and nose were etched with scars and long-heeled scratches. "Who are you?" the sailor asked, gazing at the being, even though he couldn't quite believe what he was seeing. "I am Wabi Sabi, but that's more than just my name. It's a concept that I live by, and you should do the same. See, Wabi Sabi's all about developing affection for anything or anyone displaying imperfection. Weathered faces, fallen leaves, a wilted dying rose, and even life in general with all its highs and lows." The sailor thought about these words and wanted to learn more. This curious sage's wise advice was tricky to ignore. But as the sailor turned around, his little guide was gone. So he took a breath and, sensing dusk was falling, soldiered on. The storm that he had gone through was distressing, that's for sure. And though the clouds were clearing now, peril was in store. For a creature like the previous one now suddenly appeared. But it didn't look as friendly, the nervous sailor feared. This character just stood and laughed, pointing at the sailor, as if he were a laughingstock or lost and lonely failure. "I'm Schadenfreude," the creature sneered, giggling all the time. "Please let me introduce you to a shadowy friend of mine." A stripy being now approached, like dark impending doom, as nearby trees and flowers wilted thanks to all the gloom. Zemplanity is my name, the bringer of bad news. I sense that you've been feeling lost, a failure doomed to lose. The storm that brought you here was born of turmoil from within. Swirling chaos unleashed, that's what put you in a spin. The sailor recognized this truth that others dare not say. But before replying, something shooed both messengers away. A calm, blue, furry creature smiled. It didn't say a word, but bowed as if acknowledging what both of them had heard. It pointed to a distant hill, then wandered out of view. And now the sailor somehow understood what he must do. Journeying on, the sailor met more mentors on his way, and every one had something quite enlightening to say. Meraki said to do the things we love with true devotion, for creating things with passion always kindles deep emotion. Kintsugi taught that broken things can shine beneath their scars, as fractures healed with gold become the maps of who we are. Dadiri whispered, focused listening helps us understand that words and nature's heartbeat go together hand in hand. Apricus spoke joyfully of the wonders of the sun, for delighting in its golden rays brings cheer to everyone. Feeling tired but now inspired, the sailor thought he'd seek a comfy place where he could get some restorative sleep. As he lay there thinking, he felt something soft brush past. The small blue furry creature. And now it spoke at last. When breezes turn to whirlwinds and anxiety attacks, calm brings us tranquility and helps us to relax. I guess your name is Calm then? Asked the sailor with a smile. It's not, replied the being. Perhaps I'll tell you in a while. You're right, the sailor nodded. I'm in need of peace of mind. But in my world, inner peace is often hard to find. Think gratitude, the creature said. Be thankful for small things. And focus on the present. That's where inner peace begins. The gentle being bowed and smiled, then bid a fond goodbye. As the sailor thought, I ought to give his mindful words a try. Focusing on the here and now, he gradually realized that life before the storm was not as bad as he'd surmised. The sailor gazed in wonder at this starlit paradise, thinking of the calmlings and all their wise advice. Finally drifting off to sleep, he dreamt of brighter days. Knowing what he'd learned today was sure to change his ways. As night turned into morning, the sailor came around. Certain he could hear an unexpected flapping sound. The billowing of sails in an ocean breeze so gentle. Perhaps his dreams had taken him to places transcendental. Opening his eyes, he saw the island was no more. He was back aboard his ship, heading towards a distant shore. He wondered if the island had been conjured in his mind. A waking dream or strange hallucination of some kind. As the sailor took a deep breath, he felt something in his palm. Grains of sand across his hand. From an island known as Calm.